Afghanistan. It's a brutal landscape, all but barren of lush farm fields that are so common in the United States. In this land, which has witnessed war and feels the pain of poverty, a farmer tries to eke out an existence.
And very little infrastructure, very few roads, so it's a very rough terrain.
With few options, poor Afghan farmers often turn to a cheap and accessible crop: poppies.
Before 4 years ago, I used to plant poppy, and now I'm planting saffron instead in the same plot, in the same piece of land.
But organizations like the Howard G. Buffett Foundation, the World Food Program, the Borlaug Institute, and the Farm Journal Foundation are working to provide farmers in this region other sustainable agricultural options.
The most important effect of not poppy production is that we will not addict other young kids.
In late March, a delegation from those organizations traveled to Afghanistan and Iraq to see firsthand the devastation and subsequent renewal facing these regions. Led by Howard W. Buffett, Director of Agriculture Development for the U.S. Department of Defense, and Howard G. Buffett, the founder of the HGB Foundation, Andy Weber, CEO of Farm Journal Media, and Kip Tom, Indiana farmer and president of Tom Farms, traveled to these countries. They witnessed food insecurity, people living with hunger and facing the constant fear of starvation.
And one of the things that's so striking about this is that how little can mean so much to certain people that we just totally take for granted.
To be able to understand what farmers are going through in a country like Afghanistan with the history that they've had, you can't really get it unless you go talk to them. I mean, you really need to go sit down and talk to them.
Just think about the economic activity if they could get a vibrant agriculture in place. Start out with that first cornerstone of life, making their lives better, contributing back into the system, and the economic value that it comes back into the community. Builds up the educational system, the healthcare system. There's so much benefit that could come from improving agriculture, but it's got to start out with nutrition first to get them healthy.
The journey included a 2-day trip to Kurdistan, the northern region of Iraq. This provided an incredible before and after comparison. Northern Iraq versus Afghanistan, as to what can be accomplished with grassroots agricultural development efforts. On the front lines of the war on hunger, the delegation witnessed the challenges facing these farm families that few other American politicians and business executives would ever venture out to see. The mission is more than just donations of bags of wheat. It's about American ingenuity, our agricultural know-how, and help from American farmers like you. This message has been made possible in part by a grant from the Howard G. Buffett Foundation.